hi, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello, my name is Katie, and today I'm going to be doing something very exciting. I am going to be reacting and talking about the One Piece live action trailer. Now, I do have to say right off the bat that this is not my first time watching the trailer. I did watch it as soon as it dropped. I have an update video. This is actually going to be my first video since my update video after not posting anything for like 2 months. So if you want to catch up and you don't know what's going on, please watch that. It explains, and there's no point in explaining it through this video as well, but I am back and I am reacting to One Piece again. Yeah, if you're shocked, watch the other video. I didn't really have it planned that I was going to be back reacting to One Piece, so I watched the trailer myself when it dropped. I cried my fucking eyes out. Honestly, before I get into it, I will say that I think this looks really, really good, and I'm gonna talk about why I think it looks good and what I think of like certain parts of the trailer and the casting and all that kind of stuff. I just want to talk about it because I feel like I'm gonna explode. I haven't talked to anyone about this trailer yet, so I am first of all gonna watch it. It's not a first reaction, like I said, but like this trailer makes me emotional. I don't know about you, but it just makes me emotional. So we're gonna watch the trailer and then we're gonna talk about it. So yeah, let's just get into it. Like the music, you know?
The sea's been calling. So I'm setting out to follow my dreams.
I'm gonna fucking cry again.
All I need is a loyal crew. And I think together we'd make a pretty good team. We're heading up to the Grand
The
Line.
music. Oh, don't even get me started, man.
With bigger islands and bigger pirates.
Careful with that.
I don't work for you.
I'm sensing a little bit of tension amongst the crew.
Not a crew.
Oh, I'm so emo.
But I know we've got each other's backs.
I'm actually so emotional about this. Oh, fuck no.
Finishing moves.
No, they don't.
Oh my god, I have actual chills. Okay, we need to talk about this because first of all, right, I don't know about you, but I am someone who is always very hopeful about live action adaptations of things that I love. And I have been burned in the past. I have, and also I've been really impressed in the past. Now, I will say this is my first time watching a live action anime. In the past, I've been burned by Resident Evil, which is my other favorite franchise in the entire world. Live adaptations of that suck. But then there's also The Last of Us, which is an incredible live action series of an incredible game that I really love. When it comes to these sorts of things, I like to keep an open mind and I really, really want to stay optimistic. And it's because I love One Piece so much. And seeing it in a new format to me is just really exciting. I know there's people who are like, oh, just stick to the anime. Like, why does it need live action? And I'm going to talk about that because honestly, right, if you think about it, I almost didn't start One Piece because it's a 1,000+ episode anime and the length really intimidated me. Like I was like, oh my god. And I still don't know to this day if I would have started watching One Piece if it wasn't for my anime reactions. I don't know if I would have, to be honest. I did the commitment, and I have talked to a lot of people who've wanted to watch One Piece and they felt the same. It's like the commitment is huge. And I think this is where this live action comes in, is like not only is it, you know, great for fans of One Piece already, but I think it's also probably more digestible for people who've been curious about One Piece, but maybe for one reason or another, maybe anime isn't their thing, maybe the length of the anime is intimidating, and this is something that they could find more easily that they could get into. I think personally that everyone should experience One Piece in some format or another. And if that is live action, that's totally fine. While I think that the anime is the best thing in the entire world, you can still experience it in a new way, which is very exciting. So that's one reason why I'm very hopeful for this live action. Obviously, there could be a point where any of us who are excited about this may eat our words, you know, hopefully it is good. But I am keeping an open mind because I love One Piece. Seeing it in a new format is very exciting to me. And honestly, this trailer looks so good, and we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. So I want to talk about a couple of things. I've seen a couple of people say that the CGI and that the environments just don't, you know, they're not up to scratch of like, I don't fucking know, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragons, that kind of stuff. And first of all, we have to like be realistic about these things. This is like a huge conversation that I've seen on Twitter. People comparing like the CGI of like this to like House of the Dragons. Does that look like the best thing in the entire world? No. But like, I don't know, especially when you talk about One Piece, which from the very beginning has just been goofy as fuck, especially the older, you know, One Piece, which I'm so familiar with because I only started One Piece last year. I just don't think it needs to live up to this crazy cinematic height of like House of the Dragons or anything like that, because at its core, One Piece is about the characters, it's about the story, it's about the feeling of like adventure that you get when you watch this. And that is exactly what I get from this trailer. And that's what excites me so much about this trailer. The cast of this show is honestly one of the most exciting things. If you look at this guy, right? You look at this guy. I do not know this actor's name yet, but that is Luffy. That is Luffy. Look at him. He is precious. His acting, even just in this trailer, is like so Luffy that I can't describe it. And that goes for the same with everybody else in this trailer. Like right here, this little shot of him sitting on the Going Merry, also talking about how good the Going Merry looks as well. And the Barati, like, to me, it just looks insane. Now, this is my main man, and I lost my shit when I saw this. He looks so good. Zoro is one of those characters that I'm just like, nah, there's no like living man that could ever match up to Zoro. Like I love him, and there's just no living man that could ever match up to that. Well, I was wrong, because look at him. And even his mannerisms throughout this trailer, I think are so Zoro. Like he's got this part down, I think. And I saw a few people talking on Twitter about how there's like a part in the trailer where he says that they're not a crew. People are talking about how it doesn't seem like it's in line with the characterizations of Zoro, Nami, Luffy, Sanji, Usopp. And I honestly have to disagree with that, because I personally think that a lot of people are actually likening, or they're thinking too much about modern One Piece and forgetting how it started. I think if you go back and rewatch it, Zoro's whole mannerisms change. Like he develops, even in the early episodes, he develops. He does become very dedicated to Luffy very quickly, but his relationship with Nami and the rest of the crew in the beginning is like, you know, he's pretty aloof, and these mannerisms that he's showing in the trailer are pretty on brand to Zoro. So I don't think that that's something from the trailer that I personally worry about, because all of the Straw Hats do have quite big developments, especially in the early episodes, like when we learn their backstories for the first time. So I think if you think back to early One Piece and how the characters actually all interacted at the start and all started out, I think that this trailer is giving a pretty accurate portrayal of all of their characterizations. There's a couple other things that I spotted as well, like this shot. Obviously, in the early episodes of One Piece, we find out Luffy's a bit of Luffy's backstory in terms of his relationship with Shanks, how he got his straw hat. The fact that we're gonna see Shanks in live action makes me want to throw up. I don't know who this actor is. I haven't really looked at the casting very much. And obviously in this shot, we can't see his face. So I'm so excited to see that in live action, the whole backstory of that and him like losing his arm and all that kind of stuff. Like, and then, you know, we can't talk about Shanks without talking about Buggy. And another thing that I had seen on Twitter, especially, was a lot of people saying like, oh, but Buggy is supposed to be really goofy. Like, he's not supposed to be scary. He looks really scary in this trailer. But when I think back to when I watched those early episodes of One Piece, those early episodes with Buggy, I was scared of him. Like, yeah, he becomes a very goofy character thereafter, and probably even more so in future that I haven't even seen yet. But he was the first villain that we actually saw. Like, he was the first scary villain that we saw. And honestly, this entire look, the color scheme, like I don't know, like his expression, everything about it is so Buggy when you first see him. This really excited me as well, because I feel like they have been so faithful to how the characters look and how they act. Sanji looks really good. The only thing that I'll say about Sanji is, why didn't they give him curly eyebrows? That's the only thing. Like, why do we not have our curly eyebrowed cook? I don't understand that. That's like one thing in like the look of the characters that I'm just confused why they don't have that. But apart from that, I think this actor looks absolutely stunning. I read somewhere, and I could be wrong in this, so don't quote me on this, but I think I read in like an article or like an interview or something, in this live action, Sanji's going to come across as more of like a flirty guy than like a simpy guy. And there's definitely a difference between those two things. So I'm excited also to see like if they take elements of how the characters are, especially in those really early episodes, which were made in like the 90s, early noughties, and maybe like adapt them to be more like fitting for modern consumption, if that makes sense. I mean, I still love Sanji being a simp. Like, everybody knows, if you watch my reactions, you know I love Sanji, but I'm excited to see like a slightly different take on his character in that sense. This fight scene, Zoro looks so good. I'm excited to see the fight scenes happen. And then right at the very end, of course, it just like, it really hits every One Piece fan in the fucking gut, because we finally get to see Luffy's power in like the climax moment of the trailer. And you know what? I think a lot of people are going to think that it doesn't look good, or it doesn't look cinematic, or like it's a little bit goofy, but One Piece is goofy. And I think that looks really good, but to me, it does look a little goofy, but that's One Piece. Maybe I'm someone who's just really excited and I just love One Piece and I will, consume all of the One Piece stuff. But all of this put together really, really, really excites me. I think this trailer is wonderful. The music, it just really got me. Every time I watch it, it makes me want to cry. I could ramble on about this for like another hour, and this has been quite rambly because my thoughts are kind of all over the place about this. But I think at the end of the day, too long didn't read, is the thing that this trailer does for me is makes me feel like how I felt when I watched those early episodes of One Piece. Just so excited, so enamored by the story that I was getting myself into. And I think so many new fans of One Piece are going to feel the same way. And I think old fans of One Piece are going to feel that like very, very new baby One Piece excitement again. Like, genuinely, that's how this trailer makes me feel. I think that's why it makes me feel so emotional. That's why I've cried almost every time I've watched it. That's why my expectations are quite high for this. I will go into this with an open mind. I hope it doesn't let us down. I hope it's great. I really, really do hope it's great. And I will be reacting to this on my channel as well. I'll have uncut reactions to it on Patreon. I will upload reactions as it comes out. I don't know if the full thing is coming out at once or if it's going to be weekly. Regardless, I will be uploading reactions to it anyway. And yeah, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments about this. Are you excited? What are your thoughts on the trailer, the casting, the music, the look of everything? I'd love to know your thoughts. Even if you're not really liking it, I'd love to know why. Or if you're really excited, I'd love to know why. Let's just be respectful of everybody's opinion. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. And of course, if you want to see more One Piece reactions, they are resuming this coming Sunday as I'm recording this on a Wednesday. And we are in the Alabasta arc. So yeah, feel free to subscribe and see those if you want to. But yeah, in the meantime, take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.